Okay, folks. So essentially, none of the DNA from Teresa Halbach outside of her vehicle can be considered reliable, with the exception of the charred remains. Now, that leaves only what? The bullet. It only leaves the bullet. And that cannot be considered reliable simply because it was not shown to have come from human blood. If it had come from human blood, they would have known it. But they didn't. They didn't notate that in the DNA report. The fact that that was omitted tells me that they knew that it was not from human blood and therefore calls it into question, because why would Teresa pick up a fragment of a bullet? It makes no sense. Now, every blood swab from the car that is Steven Avery's needs to be thrown out of evidence simply because it's compromised due to that compromised purple-topped tube. That should have been thrown out of court as evidence. The fact that it wasn't is just, it speaks to the bias of the prosecution. Now, I'm going to go ahead and in the description of this video, I will include the link that will take you to all the DNA reports. You will also see in those DNA reports that Teresa Halbach was completely excluded as a contributor to the 2 or more DNA profiles on the leg irons and the handcuffs. You'll see that. She's excluded from all samples from the garage and from Steven's house. The only sample from that area is the bullet fragment. That's it. As for those charred remains, I'm going to do a little more research and I'm going to find out which of the 3 burn locations, which of the 3 locations that charred remains were found in, that specific set of charred remains came from, because that will tell us a lot more. All 3 of the charred remains had soft tissue. All 3 of them were tested, but only one had enough DNA to be able to conclusively link it to Teresa Halbach. Now, the conclusive results is what should have been considered during trial. And that should have been emphasized a lot more by the defense, I feel. That's just me, though. So I'm going to do a little more research. It's lip butter. I can't just smear it. I'm going to do a little more research, find out what I can about where that specific set of charred remains came from, and that'll tell us a lot more. Now, if any of you would like to do some independent research, the item code with the charred remains that were linked to Teresa Halbach definitively is item code BZ. And I'm going to go ahead and see what I can dig up on that. And I've got some more amazing information for tomorrow's videos. So I'm going to spend the rest of the night doing my research, doing my thing, and we will see you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.